Hello YouTube, my name is Fag. Welcome to my channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And here we go. 25 everyday items from 1980s that Gen Z has never seen. I think this might be interesting to find out. I don't know if we have any Gen Z in the audience or not. Wow, 6 freezers full. You're stocked up. Just hope you don't ever get a power outage. At least get a jitter for backup just in case. Hey, pal, what's up, buddy? And we're starting out with the 25 items from the 80s that Gen Z has never seen. So, we'll now find out how much of my Gen Z audience actually knows some of this stuff. Oh, well, good morning or afternoon, whatever case may be, or evening. Some people sleep in the daytime. Oh, there you go. There you go. At least I'd worry about going bad, go, huh? All right. Let's see what this is about, shall we?
Introducing Game Boy. It's portable. It's in stereo.
Clap off. Clap on, clap off. Clapper.
The 1980s were a unique time for technology and entertainment, filled with
Oh, that Speak and Spell. Do you guys remember that song that has part of Speak and Spell in it? I just thought that was a tidbit you might like. Here we go.
gadgets that have since become obsolete. From VCRs to Betamax tapes, these everyday items defined a generation. Can you imagine a time before streaming or digital downloads? Join us as we explore 25 everyday items from the 1980s that Gen Z has never seen.
Terrific! But suppose it's over 3 hours. Relax. Panasonic VHS tapes up to 4 hours of sports, movies, specials on one cassette.
In the 1980s, VCRs, video cassette
Now, VCRs lasted well into the 90s. So, but these little push button things, I haven't even seen this type myself, so that's interesting. Seems like an old tape deck, only bigger.
recorders became the main way people watched movies at home before DVDs and streaming services became popular.
Oh, before I forget, remember those emotes I told you I was commissioned? I've got one of them back today and I got it installed on Twitch. I don't have it installed on Kick yet. Didn't have time. Is it low? Alright, let me see if I can't fix that. Hang on. Is that better? Can you hear me better now? Alright, here we go. Alright, we'll try this, see what happens. Yeah, I was adjusting the volume down on my headset because I was bleeding onto my mic. I think I turned my mic down by mistake. I'm sorry about that, guys. Alright, so. Do you guys remember VCRs? Pal? I know you said you're Gen Zer. Did you ever see a VCR before? You have? This is not surprising because VCR has been around forever and probably not hard to find one. Oh. Oh, aloha. Make me hungry. 12-hour smoked brisket. Oh my god, it's gonna be so tender. Anyway. Back to VCRs.
VCRs, introduced in the 1970s, let people record TV shows and watch movies rented or bought on VHS tapes. This new technology changed home entertainment, allowing viewers to watch their favorite content anytime. VCRs used magnetic tape inside a plastic cassette to play and record video and audio.
Yep, just like a cassette tape player.
The most common format was VHS, which beat Betamax in the format battle. VCRs allowed users to play, rewind.
All right, here's an interesting question. Do you know why VHS beat out Betamax? I'm gonna give you a hint. It's a four-letter word that starts with P. And I can't say on Twitch. That's not surprising. Right. Well, Betamax had the same thing, but Betamax was a little bit smaller format of a cassette. But the whole reason why VHS won was because that's what the corn industry decided to put their movies on. And that's why Betamax lost that battle. Well, actually, tidbit. I don't know if you guys knew or not. It's also why DVDs in the end won out against the other formats, even Blu-rays, I should say. That's why can't talk. That's why Blu-rays went out also, right? Because they had several different formats come out at once. Not only does they're not having a Blu-ray player inside every PlayStation sold, but the corn industry also on that too. So just a little tidbit of fact on those wars over the years. Although now everybody get them for free over the internet whenever they want.
Fast forward and record. Over time, the tapes would wear out, affecting picture and sound quality. By the early 2000s, DVDs replaced VHS, and streaming services made physical media nearly obsolete. VCRs revolutionized home entertainment. But what device lets people take their favorite music on the go? Let's
Now, it wasn't only that, Aloha. A Laserdisc, you ever seen those? There's big in a record, right? And typically, about hour and a half, 2 hour movie was on two of those discs on both sides. So you watch about 30 minutes, flip the disc over, watch another 30 minutes, change disc. They were super easy to scratch. They had no scratch protection on Laserdisc. But Laserdisc is like totally uncompressed. Yeah, they were. You know, I just found this out lately, but did you know they even tried putting movies on vinyl? That's something I just recently learned.
explore the Walkman.
Sony Walkman is a tiny stereo cassette player with truly incredible sound.
In the 1980s, Walkman became the popular portable cassette player that allowed people to listen to music wherever they went. Sony introduced the first model, the TPS L2 1979, changing how people enjoyed music.
I didn't know that law. So the laser from the Laserdisc is the exact same as a night vision goggle. Cool. Right. Walkman is a portable cassette player, like the Discman. Of course, both those faded away when MP3 players came out, and then finally with cell phones. I imagine not. I imagine so.
Before Walkmans, music was mostly listened to at home or in the car, but these small devices made it possible to take your favorite songs anywhere. Walkmans were lightweight and came with foam-covered headphones, which became a symbol of personal music enjoyment. They used cassette tapes that could hold up to 90 minutes of music, letting users make their playlists by recording songs from the radio or other tapes.
Yeah.
Despite issues like needing new batteries and varying sound quality, the Walkman became hugely popular, influencing future portable music devices and modern streaming services.
Its advanced front-loading system is just amazing, and it even has remote control and beta scan. But the real genius of this Betamax is its price.
Betamax tapes were a video format created by Sony.
Now we're going to talk about Betamax. Betamax was the direct competitor to the VHS.
In 1975 that competed with VHS in the 1980s. They were the first successful home videotape format, allowing people to record TV shows and watch movies at home, changing how we enjoyed media. Picture quality than VHS, with a resolution of about 250 lines. However, the main downside was its shorter recording time, starting at just 1 hour, while VHS tapes could record up to 2 hours. This made VHS more popular with consumers who wanted to record longer content. Betamax lost the battle to VHS despite better quality due to higher costs and time limitations. By the mid-1980s, VHS became the leading format, and Betamax eventually disappeared, with Sony stopping production in 2002.
Press this button.
Well, that changed as technology developed, because toward the early and mid-90s, a regular VHS could hold up to like 6 hours if you turned down the quality on it. You had 2, 4, or 6 hour settings on your recordings on those. It's actually pretty neat, but at the same time, don't ever get them close to a magnet. Now, when they talk about lines, right? Alrighty. Enjoy your ribeye. Oh, that sounds so good. But when they talk about lines, pal, right? The old CRTs, before the flat screens we got now, they did their resolution in lines because the light, basically the back of a CRT had a cannon, right? Basically a light cannon. And it would scan across the TV in what they call lines, right? Oh, you know? Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if you knew or not, being Gen Z. And they were heavy as hell. That CRT tube, oh my god, they were so heavy. So if you got like a 32-inch TV, it took like 2 people to move the sucker.
A new era in photography begins. Polaroid introduces sonar automatic focusing. This camera sends out
In the 1980s,
Polaroid.
Polaroid cameras became a popular way to take photos and see them immediately. The first Polaroid camera, the Land Model 95, was introduced by Edwin H. Land.
You can still buy a new version of this exact same thing. Do you know that? Polaroid's still around. It's pretty neat that it lasted this long. But having that instant picture in your hand, they usually thought was just a novelty, is actually kind of desirable for some people, right? Especially if they want something that they can share with others right then and there instead of having to wait to, hey, watch your email, I'll send it to you kind of thing nowadays, or getting something printed off. They'll just poof, pop out, and within 5 minutes your picture's ready. Ah, you do? That's cool, that's cool. I'm not surprised a lot of households do have one.
Land in 1948 and changed how people thought about photography.
Welcome back, Aloha. We're looking at the Polaroid now.
Unlike traditional film cameras, which needed film to be developed in a darkroom, Polaroid cameras allowed users to see their photos within minutes. These cameras used special film to produce the photo right after the picture was taken. The chemicals in the film reacted to light, creating an image in about a...
Yeah, you got the standard size model, then you got the little smaller ones. I don't know if they still sell those, but they're more for like little scrapbooking, I guess. You like a little 1x2-inch picture that popped out. Polaroid's neat. You sit there and watch it, or get a Polaroid shake.
60 seconds. The design of Polaroid cameras, with their boxy shape and colorful rainbow stripe, became a well-known symbol of the 1980s, making photography easier and more enjoyable for everyone at parties, family events, and vacations. Polaroid cameras redefined instant photography. But what about devices that brought efficiency to printing? Let's explore the era of...
Ah, here we go, printers. Let's see. That's a dot matrix printer. I'm pretty sure that's a dot matrix printer. Because of this right here. Right? You got these wheels that grab like perforated paper. And this right here, right, has an ink ribbon, but just punch a bunch of dots. It was loud but fast. Read. Well, that's the time. Oh, that's cool though, huh? Does it still work? You still got like ribbons and stuff for it? I didn't know if modern computers can handle that thing. They're so old. I don't think they would still have the parallel port needed for it.
Of dot matrix printers.
Dot matrix printers just don't fly anymore. After all, they're noisy.
Oh.
And
Dot matrix printers were common in the 1980s, and they were known for their loud noise and unique dot-based printing method. Unlike modern inkjet or laser printers, these printers used a print head that moved back and forth across the paper, striking an ink-soaked ribbon to create characters and images with tiny dots.
Yeah,
Though
just like
their
a
printing was
typewriter.
not as smooth as today's methods, it was very effective. Introduced in the early 1970s, these printers became popular because they were affordable and efficient. The Centronics 101 was the first successful model, setting the standard. Businesses valued these printers' ability to print on multi-part forms, making them perfect for carbon copies. Despite their noise, dot matrix printers were durable and reliable, lasting many years.
Moisture. They give total
Oh, did you see that? Hang on, I'm gonna go back 1 second. Look at this rig they got set up here. Look at that. They got it going to USB so they can still use it. How cool is that? It's like they got like a custom built rig here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you had ads. My bad. Yeah, my new cat box didn't show me when ads start. So I don't know when to pause for you guys. But yeah, this is neat. I'll check this out. They got a custom rig set up here with the printer thing coming out here. I'm assuming they got a different attachment in the back. They go from the parallel to whatever. Then it goes to cool. But then it goes to USB, which is the modern standard anymore. That is pretty neat thing they built right there. I like that.
Matrix printers were durable and reliable, lasting many years.
moisture. They give total performance in every environment.
Ah, the floppy
Cold,
disk.
heat, and grime. Available in all
3.5 inch
sizes.
floppy.
Maxell's RD series.
Floppy disks were commonly stored and transferred data before USB drives became popular. They were first introduced in the 1970s
I have a
and gained
quarter disc.
popularity in the 1980s and 1990s. There were two main sizes, the 5.25-inch and the 3.5-inch discs. The 5.25-inch floppy, introduced in 1906, was flexible.
Sounds like the AI voiceover is having a hard time pronouncing all that. Right along, I'm glad it works. Right. That's not all that odd either. Before they didn't have flash drives, or even before flash drives became decent, floppies were the main way to do backups. Unless you had a tape system. Had a tape backup, but that was expensive. No! Oh, they ruined it. Oh. It's magnetic storage. You can't get that newer magnet. Oh. Well, I guess they didn't have backup after all.
Flexible and could hold up to 1.2 megabytes of data. It was widely used in early personal computers and word processors. The 3.5-inch
Hello.
floppy.
Hi, Mal. How you doing? Welcome in. You having a great day today? I hope so.
Introduced in 1982, had a more durable plastic
Why do they stick a card in there? You see that? They got a SIM card of some sort shoved inside their SD card. But they still had the magnetic thing in it. That's weird looking. There you go, Laha.
Case and could hold up to 1.44 megabytes of data, making it more popular. These disks were used to share software, transfer files, and backup data. They were read and written by a floppy disk drive.
There it is. I'd never seen
Despite
that
their
before.
popularity, floppy disks had a small storage capacity and could be damaged by dust or magnets. By the late 1990s, they were replaced by
That same way with the standard ACD. You can't get those there magnet either. That fucked them up big time.
CDs, DVDs, and USB drives, which offered better storage and reliability.
Here's how it looks for today.
Motorola has made it easier to stay directly in touch with those important to you.
Mom, we got a better idea. I've got to... We'll page you.
I don't know time to, or no, hang on. Don't at me too, sorry. Hello, don't at me too. Am I trans? No, I am not. That's a weird question to ask, but thank you for asking anyway, I guess. Welcome in. Hope you like the show.
Pagers, also called beepers, were small devices that let people receive text messages before cell phones became common.
Yeah.
They were invented in the 1940s and became popular in the 1980s and 1990s. People would clip pagers to their belts or keep.
Have you ever heard that comedian? Oh, it was a bigger comedian. He told a joke one time about having a pager and it going off. The kid's like, "What's up, Mom? He's backing up." Pagers, that's when the whole number text thing first started. Right. You guys see the numbers because the first pagers can only do numbers. So that's when the whole text numbering system started.
Them in their pockets,
carried over to cell
and they would
phones.
beep or vibrate when a message was received. Pagers work by receiving radio signals sent by a central transmitter. When someone wanted to reach you, they would call a pager number and leave a numeric or alphanumeric message. The pager would display the message on a small screen. Since pagers could only receive messages, users had to find a payphone or landline to reply, making them less convenient than modern communication methods.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hello, honey. I'm home.
No, miss. No, don't go, miss. Don't go in.
CRT televisions, or
Yeah,
cathode
CRTs
ray
now.
tube TVs, were large and heavy tube televisions common in many living rooms. These TVs used a vacuum tube with electron guns to show pictures on a glowing screen. The technology behind CRTs started in the late 1800s, but became very popular in the middle of the 20th century. CRT TVs were known for their bright colors and dependable performance, which made them the center of home entertainment. They came in different sizes, but even the smaller ones were heavy compared to modern flat-screen TVs. The screens were curved, and the larger the TV, the deeper the tube. As technology improved, CRTs were replaced by lighter, thinner, and more energy-efficient flat-screen TVs, like LCD and LED models. CRT TVs revolutionized home entertainment. But speaking of innovations, what toy...
Well, speaking of stuff, the one thing about the CRT, right, that he didn't cover like it did with the magnetic storage, you can't get those near magnets either. It doesn't surprise me because CRTs have been around for a long time, and they last a good long time too. But if you notice, right, on a CRT, when the speaker shielding starts going bad, you get that discolorization on there. That's because CRT is just like magnetic storage. You can't get that near magnets either. If something like that happens, you have to have it degaussed. Alright, see the speaking spell.
It became a must-have for kids in the 80s. Let's explore the rise of Speak and Spell.
Spelling with Texas Instruments Speak and Spell.
Rain. R-A-I-N. That is correct.
She's teaching her.
The Speak and Spell was an educational toy created to help children improve their spelling through interactive games. Introduced by Texas Instruments in 1978, it was among the earliest handheld electronic devices to feature a visual display and replaceable game cartridges. The toy used a TMC0-283 linear predictive coding speech synthesizer to pronounce words and phrases.
Basically, the very first AI voice. Ain't that neat? That's the precursor voice to all modern AI.
Its bright orange design and simple keyboard made it appealing and easy for kids to use. The toy included spelling games like Mystery Word and Secret Code, encouraging children to spell correctly. It offered immediate responses, praising correct answers and gently motivating kids to try again when they made mistakes, creating a dynamic learning experience.
Watch yourself fall, Silk Slinger! Gotta stop the bombs in time. If I don't get
video game.
The Atari 2600 was a highly popular
Oh, that's like the OG classic video game system, Atari. I remember we had one though when I was growing up. Till I found it in the hallway closet. Oh my god, I played that thing forever once I found it. For simple games, they were actually pretty fun.
home gaming console in the 1980s. Released in 1977 by Atari Inc., it was initially called the Atari Video Computer System, before changing its name in 1982. This console was groundbreaking for its time, using interchangeable game cartridges, which was a big step forward compared to older systems.
That sounds about right. NES, Super NES, right? Because the NES was a step up from the Atari. Now, Atari was around for a good long time before the NES came out. But ever since then, like every 6 months, the same technology doubles anymore.
Systems with built-in games. The Atari 2600 had an 8-bit microprocessor and 128 bytes of RAM. It came with 2 joystick controllers and a set of paddle controllers for different types of games. Iconic titles like Space Invaders, Pac-Man, and
Oh, I love the Sega. We played it like 2 times. I like the Sonic series, I like Columns. I like the Phantasy Star series if you like role-playing games. Well, I love those classic consoles, though.
And Pitfall became household names. Despite facing setbacks like the 1983 video game crash, the Atari 2600 remains an important part of gaming history.
Ordinary story.
Now, what really did the Atari end was a bunch of garbage games. Because toward the end of the life cycle of the Atari, standards have gotten laxed, and publishers were releasing games that were just garbage, didn't work like advertised or anything. And that's what ultimately killed the Atari system.
With 2 separate channels of sound and Panasonic ambient sound. Ambient sound
boombox
gives you rich, full-dimensional sound that's all around.
Ghetto blasters, also called boomboxes, were large portable cassette tape players with big speakers that became popular in the 1980s. These devices were iconic in hip-hop culture, as they were seen.
I'm sorry to hear that, Aloha. But, you should have a problem with modern controllers, too? Or are they just PC game now? Of course, PC gaming is pretty much the way to go anymore. You get better graphics. All good. Alright. But yeah, in my opinion, I think PC gaming is a better way to go. Because as technology advances, you can replace parts to keep your system up to date. As a console, you gotta wait till the next generation comes out.
Seen carried by teenagers in cities. Ghetto blasters were first introduced in the late 1970s,
Ghetto
allowing
blasters,
people to
huh?
take their music and enjoy
I never
loud
got
sound and
boomboxes.
deep bass. The first boombox, the Norelco 22RL962,
Yeah.
was made by Philips in 1960.
Yeah, they took like a whole bunch of T-cell batteries, and they lasted what, about an hour before they died or so.
1986. In the 1980s, ghetto blasters gained widespread popularity. They featured AM/FM radio, 2 cassette decks for playing and recording music,
That one got a
and
little
powerful
TV in it.
speakers. Powered by batteries, they were portable, but their size and weight made them hard to carry around without effort.
When you get hold of the Nintendo Entertainment System,
There you go. Here's NES coming up.
when you master Rob, the video robot,
The Zapper guns were light guns used for shooting games on the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES. Released in North America in 1985, the NES Zapper became a well-known accessory for the console. It allowed players to aim at the TV screen and shoot at targets in games, offering a more
Now, here's an interesting thing about the Zapper, right? A lot of people think it shot a visible light at the TV, but in actuality, it's just a camera. It takes a small picture of what's down that barrel, and then that determines if you got a hit or not. Didn't know if you had an interesting bit of technology in there, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
interactive gaming experience. The original design of the Zapper resembled a revolver. Still, it was later redesigned to look like a futuristic ray gun with a bright orange color to make it different from real firearms. The Zapper
government
detected
do
light
that.
from the screen when the trigger was pulled. Popular games like Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, and Wild Gunman were some of the well-loved titles that used the Zapper.
Yeah, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning. Check this out. Brand new 16-bit Super Nintendo with Super
Super
Mario
NES.
World. Wow!
The Sega Genesis, also called the Mega
Genesis,
Drive
sorry.
outside North America,
Okay, that was misleading because they had a Super NES sitting on that table on the lead up.
was a popular video game console that helped lead the 16-bit gaming era. Released in Japan in 1988 and in North America in 1989, it was Sega's third console and the successor to the Master System. The Genesis quickly became known for its strong graphics, sound, and large collection of games. It was powered by a Motorola 68000 processor and a Zilog Z80 sound controller, making gameplay smooth and vibrant audio. The console offered many games, from fast-paced action games like Sonic the Hedgehog to sports games like Madden NFL. It's a
Oh, yeah, they were. Not too long ago, although we did a segment on 80s commercials that didn't age well. Oh my God, some of those were completely off the wall. Yeah, like you, me, and my Johnson commercial. That was probably the craziest one of all. Or the meatballs they call. I'm not gonna say it, but yeah. Yeah, I think I might check out some more filled commercials here soon. Next couple of days, probably. Oh, yeah.
success was helped by effective marketing with the slogan, "Genesis does what Nintendo doesn't," emphasizing its advantages over Nintendo. The Sega Genesis revolutionized gaming, but what about a fashion trend that brought glitter and color to the 80s? Let's explore jelly shoes.
Juicy summer jellies.
No square.
Preschool girls, just $29.99.
Jelly shoes, also called jellies, were colorful rubber
That's a precursor to modern Crocs. You guys are confused about it. Oh, John Bell. But yeah, jelly shoes are the precursor to the modern Crocs. I know they look like Crocs back then, but they still had straps and whatnot. No, just interesting thing about how things changed over the years. Now, they had issue with these, like with flip-flops in the 90s, right? Where they would use substandard materials coming from China that would actually chemically burn people's feet. And that's why these fell out of popularity.
Rubber sandals that became very popular in the 1980s. They were made from PVC plastic and were known for their bright colors and glittery designs. The name jelly shoes came from their jelly-like look and feel. They were first created by the French company Jelly Shoes, started by Tony Alano and Nicolas Guillon in 1980. These shoes were lightweight, waterproof, and affordable, which made them a favorite among children and teenagers. They came in different styles, including sandals, flats, and boots. Jelly shoes were versatile, perfect for the beach, the pool, or casual everyday wear. Despite their simple design, they were seen as stylish and were popular with trendsetters and celebrities. Cabbage Patch Kids were cute and a little creepy, stuffed dolls with unique faces that became one of the most wanted toys of the 1980s. Created by Xavier Roberts in 1978, they were originally called Little People and sold at craft fairs. Each doll had its name and birth certificate, making them feel special and personalized. In 1982, Coleco took over the rights to make the dolls in large quantities and renamed them Cabbage Patch Kids. The dolls had soft bodies and plastic heads, known for their round faces and big eyes.
Yeah, they had Cabbage Patch dolls for the girls, and then for the boys, they had the Garbage Pail Kids. Although those dolls weren't nearly as popular. The cards were, though. The cards were hilarious. Garbage Pail Kid cards?
Quickly became a cultural sensation, with parents rushing to buy them for their children. This led to huge demand and even store riots during the holiday season.
Clap on, clap off.
Oh, the clapper.
Clap on, clap off. The clapper.
Let you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room.
The clapper was a sound-activated electrical switch introduced in 1984 by Joseph Enterprises Inc. and marketed by Joe Padot. It allowed users to clap their hands to control appliances like lamps and TVs. The device was plugged into a regular electrical outlet and could control up to 2 devices, each activated by a different clap pattern. The clapper became famous for its catchy slogan, "Clap on, clap off, the clapper," which was featured in TV commercials. It offered a convenient way for people to turn on lights or appliances without getting up from their seats. The device also had a security feature that turned on a light at any sound, helping to...
Oh, yeah. Something like that was common back then, probably. You know, every girl wanted one of those, and they all had different names, different birth certificates. It was weird. They had, like, birth certificates and everything with them. Yeah, that was, how you remotely activated your light stuff before Siri or Alexa. The downside of the clapper, though, right? Because sometimes you're watching TV, they would get that specific clapping pattern that would activate it, and it would just shut stuff off or turn it on randomly. Activate the light video. The one you're talking about? No, I have not. Put it in my Discord and I'll take a look at it.
Scare off potential intruders.
Does it feel like to play, Simon? You gotta look! Listen!
Simon was an electronic memory game that...
No, like I said, I haven't seen it, I don't think. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it. I will get the Simon Says.
That became very popular in the 1980s. It was created by Ralph H. Baer and Howard J. Morrison, and first released by Milton Bradley in 1978. The game had a round, colorful device with 4 large buttons that lit up and played different sounds. The goal was for players to repeat increasingly difficult sequences of lights and sounds.
Yeah, I thought I already had that started. I'm sorry. We'll go back a little bit. Alright, there we go.
Simon was an electronic memory game that became very popular in the 1980s. It was created by Ralph H. Baer and Howard J. Morrison, and first released by Milton Bradley in 1978. The game had a round, colorful device with 4 large buttons that lit up and played different sounds. The goal was for players to repeat increasingly difficult sequences of lights and sounds. Inspired by an earlier Atari arcade game called Touch Me, Simon improved the original concept by using more pleasant sounds and a better design. The game became a big hit, especially around the holidays, and was a common item on children's wish lists. Its success was helped by a special launch event at Studio 54 in New York City.
Right, pay attention, Bond. This is the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Plus 2. It's a fully operational...
The ZX Spectrum was a popular 8-bit home computer that Batyha became well known in the 1980s. Created by Sinclair Research and released in the United Kingdom on April 23, 1982, it was designed by Sir Clive Sinclair. The Spectrum was praised for its small size, rubber keyboard, and colorful graphics, greatly improving over its predecessor, the ZX81.
Yeah, you notice that tape deck on there? That's how they did games before floppies or hard drives. And trust me, if you actually put one of those in your personal tape deck, it'll hurt your ears.
It featured a Z80A processor running at 3.5 MHz and had models with 16 kilobytes or 48 kilobytes of memory. The computer is connected to a television for display, and audio cassette tapes are used to load and save programs. The ZX Spectrum's low cost and versatility made it a favorite among families and enthusiasts, playing a major role in the...
Now, this is one thing I didn't know about, so it's kind of interesting for me, too. I like old tech stuff like that.
Growth of home computing and video games. The ZX Spectrum revolutionized home computing, but what other 1980s gadget combined style and function like never before? Let's explore.
Well, I think at the time the Commodore was out too. And that's a hard thing to compete with in that market at the time with the Commodore 64.
First cards for Casio. Would you rather have a calculator or a watch?
I love a calculator.
With a Casio calculator watch, you have both.
The Casio Calculator Watch was a popular gadget in the 1980s, combining a digital watch with a built-in calculator. Released by Casio in 1980, these watches became famous for their practicality and futuristic look. The watch had a small keypad on the face, allowing users to do basic math like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. One of the most well-known models was the Casio Databank series. It included a calculator and featured a calendar, alarm, and phone book. Its stylish design and multiple functions made it a favorite among students, professionals, and technology lovers. The calculator watch was especially useful for quick calculations while on the go, making it an essential tool for everyday tasks.
Only possible.
Well, not really good, but it's also handy too. You know, at one time, schools banned those watches, especially during math class. Those kids would be doing that little calculator to do their math problems on during tests and stuff.
All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable.
Game Boy.
It's in stereo.
The Game Boy was a groundbreaking portable video game console introduced by Nintendo in 1989. Designed by Gunpei Yokoi, it became a cultural symbol of the 1990s. The Game Boy featured an 8-bit processor and a monochrome screen that displayed games in 4 shades of gray. Despite its basic graphics, the console gained immense popularity due to its affordable price, long-lasting battery, and various games. A standout feature of the Game Boy was its ability to use interchangeable cartridges, which made switching games easy. When it launched, it included the popular puzzle game Tetris, which helped the console.
They said that like it was innovative. Right, but he said that cartridge thing when he was innovative. At the time, that was the only way to play games on carts. I think maybe the Sega CD was starting to come out around then, but I don't know right off. Or don't remember right off, so. But yeah, carts were pretty much standard format when the Game Boy came out.
Succeed.
Harry has access to over 1 million words, all stored in its microchip memory. That's enough words to fill one side of over 4,000 sheets of fully printed A4 paper.
Digital dictionaries, also known as electronic dictionaries, gained popularity in the 1980s as technology advanced. These devices let users quickly look up words and their meanings without needing a large book.
You know what's interesting though? A lot of the stuff you're showing is all integrated into our cell phones nowadays. People take for granted. But this is how they all got there.
Early digital dictionaries were small handheld gadgets with screens and keyboards, similar to tiny laptops. They gave instant access to various information, such as definitions, synonyms, and translations. One of the first was the Seiko Electronic Dictionary, introduced in the early 1980s. It had a simple design and limited vocabulary, but it was a groundbreaking product.
I did one though.
As technology progressed, companies like Casio and Sharp created more advanced models with bigger word lists and features like pronunciation help and grammar advice. These dictionaries were popular with students and travelers, but eventually lost out to software applications and online dictionaries that offered even more features.
If you want to do well in school, you have to keep up with current events.
Express it, the locker answering machine.
Answering machines were important household items in the 1980s because they allowed people to receive messages when they couldn't pick up the phone. While the idea started,
man, people got creative with their answer machine messages. Some of those were funny to listen to.
In the early 20th century, it wasn't until the 1970s and 1980s that they became affordable and widely available. These machines used magnetic tape to record messages, which could be later played. The first popular answering machine, called the Electronic Secretary, was introduced in 1949. By the 1980s, machines like the PhoneMate 400, which could store up to 20 messages, became well known. These devices had a speaker, a microphone for recording messages, and a tape deck for storing incoming messages. Some models allowed users to change their greetings and even check messages remotely from another phone.
Make a healthy treat with the Presto Pop Light Hot Air Corn Popper. It pops with hot air, not oil.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was a bot. My very first day on Kick, I got flooded with bots like crazy. It was weird. It's something I never experienced on Twitch before.
For a low-fat treat.
Air poppers became a popular kitchen tool in the 1980s, changing how people made popcorn at home. These devices, introduced in the late 1970s, used hot air to pop the kernels without needing oil, making popcorn a healthier snack. The Presto Popcorn Pumper, released in 1970.
Now, the air-popping popcorn machines, they taste a lot better than microwave popcorn, in my opinion. That ain't never worry about burnt popcorn either.
The 8 was one of the first air poppers sold. The air popper worked by blowing hot air through the kernels, causing them to pop and shoot fluffy popcorn into a bowl. This method was quicker, easier, and healthier than oil on a stovetop. Air poppers quickly became a favorite in many households, especially for family movie nights. They offered a simple and more nutritious alternative to traditional popcorn-making methods. Air poppers revolutionized snack time, but what other 1980s device transformed home entertainment forever? Let's explore the rise of cable boxes. Cable boxes became an essential part of television in the 1980s, changing how people accessed entertainment. First introduced in the 1970s, these devices expanded channel options beyond the few available on broadcast TV. By decoding cable signals, they allowed users to watch various specialized channels, including sports.
Yeah, that was before TVs on the sets go up to the hundreds. So, you had to have something like this. And you had to rent it too, unfortunately.
Movies and news. Early models were large and typically placed on top of the television. They featured dials or buttons for channel selection. Some even included a wired remote control. The arrival of cable boxes marked a major change in home entertainment, giving viewers more choices and the ability to explore programming tailored to their interests, paving the way for a new era of television.
Put the letter in here, and the letter goes round and round.
Fax machines.
Whoa, and it comes out here.
In the 1980s, fax machines became essential tools for homes and offices, allowing people to send and receive documents through telephone. The technology behind faxing dates back to 1843, when Scottish inventor Alexander Bain created the first device to transmit images. By the 1970s and 1980s, fax machines were widely used in businesses and homes. A fax machine scans a document and converts it into electrical signals, which travel through phone lines to another fax machine. The receiving machine decodes the signals and prints a copy of the original document. Early models used thermal paper, but later designs shifted to plain paper, making fax machines more affordable and convenient for everyday use in professional and personal settings.